My name's Adam, and I'm an artist out of northern Wisconsin. Century Tattoo Machines just announced a new machine. This new tattoo machine is called the Century MP5 Tactical. Now, I don't actually have this tattoo machine on me. This is going to be a part of my first impressions tattoo machine series where I check out the machine online. So I'm going to pull it up. We're going to check it out. And this machine doesn't come out until October 11th. And October 11th is in just a few weeks. So this is just going to be me giving my first impressions on this tattoo machine. We're going to talk about some of the mechanics with it because there's a lot of things that they're doing differently on this machine than most machines are doing. And I have something I'm going to show you guys throughout this video, and I think you're going to be very impressed. And it's not that. Get your mind out of the gutter. It's not that. All right, here we are on the Century Tattoo Machines Instagram page. This is where they announced their new tattoo machine. I actually believe that this post right here is the post that they used to announce the tattoo machine. Let's check it out. All right, so right away, we're going to see on the right, this is the new MP5 Tactical. We're going to talk about it in just a second. And then here on the left is the MP5. You can see that it has a battery pack. This one actually is RCA. This one's wireless, and that is the main difference between the two. But we're going to go deeper and dive into it, and we're going to talk more about it. Let's actually talk about the post real quick because they actually said some stuff. Let's see here. Let me zoom in on all this. The Century MP5 Tactical 3D print test model passed the initial spacing requirements and still looks effing amazing. Can't wait to start machining this one-piece solid body. Thanks for the cheers and for fueling this upcoming intensive venture. All right, now I have not used this previous version. I have not used the MP5, so I don't fully understand how all the mechanics work on the inside. I kind of have a good idea, but looking here at the new MP5 Tactical, we will see this ring on top. This ring on top is how you adjust the needle depth because there is no twist grip. As he says up here, one piece solid body. There is no twist grip on this thing, so you have to spin that to protrude out your needle. And then when we look on the previous version, the mechanics are almost the exact same, and we can see how he's doing it. It has threads here, and I'm assuming when you twist the threads, the rod pushes and protrudes more into the cartridge, or adjusts the cartridge in some way to where it protrudes out the needle further. I don't fully understand how the mechanics of that's working. There's probably a video online of someone twisting off the grip and showing the inside and showing it off, but that's somewhat of a unique thing. You don't really see a company do that. So right away, Century Machines is out here and they're innovating, which is like what we like to see. We don't like to see a bunch of knockoffs of the same machine. This one is very different, and there's a mechanical or a magnetic drive system in the motor, and we're going to talk about that more in just a second. As you can see here, new display. This is how you change the voltage, and let's just see the video that they posted. All right, so there's a lot to process from this video, and the first thing you're going to notice, and the first thing that I noticed, is that they are now powering this tattoo machine off a standard 9-volt battery. Look at it. That's a 9-volt battery. That's crazy. When I first originally saw that 9-volt battery about 2 or 3 days ago, it inspired me. At first, I couldn't wrap my mind around it, and I was thinking, why would they do a 9-volt battery? I was thinking, is this like a prison technique or something? Like, you know, like you're trying to make a tattoo machine, so you take a battery out of a smoke detector or something to make the tattoo machine work or something. And then I was thinking, like, is that going to be enough power and juice to run a machine? I had all these thoughts going through my head. And then I found the battery online and I bought it. And then when I found the battery online, I realized it has a Type-C port for charging and that this battery is only about $5. And then my mind was blown. Currently, all the tattoo machines on the market with a cheap removable battery, kind of like this one on the FK1, where you could remove the battery like this, none of these tattoo machines have a Type-C charger port on them. All the companies make you currently get a cheap, ridiculous dock just like this, just to charge your batteries. With this 9-volt battery, you get the convenience of being able to plug it in on board through the Type-C port, with it still being cheap and affordable, instead of making a tattoo machine battery that's like $300 or $400. Like this battery right here on this tattoo machine is $400. The battery drains on the inside over time and basically becomes garbage. You won't have to worry about that because this battery is only $5. And this battery blew my mind so hard, guys, that I made my own tattoo machine using that battery. This is my first tattoo machine that I ever made. I put together coil machines in the past, but just from looking through Century's page, just looking at this battery. I went down this big rabbit hole, guys. It's a long explanation, but I ended up making my own tattoo machine, and this is what it looks like. Has the battery on the back. Obviously, this is not going to be a production thing ever because it's literally like a prison machine. But the whole point of this was for me to learn about this battery and try to understand it. And I mean, this thing works. It works. Let me show you. So I don't want to take away from the Century MP5 Tactical, you know, with my new awesome tattoo machine here. We're going to talk more about the Tactical in just a second. Like I said, I literally just made this tattoo machine just because I was curious about this battery and then went down a rabbit hole. And we'll see here, this is the Ace Special. I went to Ace Hardware, bought everything up, strapped everything together. There's no soldering. There's no anything here other than we got zip ties. We got these like mounting brackets on here and a bunch of different things. I am calling this tattoo machine the Prison Shank version 1 because you're supposed to stab someone in prison with it and then it continuously stabs them. So for the first feature on my tattoo machine, I have a child-proof lock on it. You know, there's a button behind all this metal that you have to click. You actually got to take like something. If you have long fingernails, you can do it. Otherwise, you got to take a screwdriver to do it. That's a feature, you know, that I put in there. So now the machine is on and it's live. And then here I actually got voltage adjustment right here. And when it's all the way to the left, the machine is off. When you turn it, the machine will start to kick on, and you could change the voltage by just turning the dial, similar to the Century tattoo machine. They actually have a dial also. They're a little more professional about it, but there we go. We got that classic rotary design where the machine is straight here and then curves off the back and the battery and everything. So we got that. There's the battery. The battery is right there. It is exposed, so you can pop that battery out if you got to do a hot swap or something. Otherwise, Type-C port right there to charge it. Yeah, buddy, look at all that. And then this cam on here is actually stroke adjustable. So this tattoo machine is stroke adjustable, cartridge, you know, you got the cartridge grip, stroke adjustable, battery, Type-C port, voltage. This is better than a friggin' Bishop tattoo machine right here. And going through all the testing that I did on this battery with making the tattoo machine and looking it over, there's not much I can tell you guys about the battery other than it's a 9-volt battery, which means that it is putting the tattoo machine into a 9-volt system. Whether that's okay for a DC motor, I believe so. I assume so because we have RC cars that use DC electric motors in them and stuff, and we use 9-volt batteries in those all the time. The motor on this tattoo machine is actually a magnetic motor, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. And then this battery is also 1,300 milliamps. Now from tattooing, we know that that's not a lot. That's going to only give us like 3 to 4 hours. It's not that much. I did not do testing yet on if you drain the battery and then if you plug it in, if it could run like a wireless machine like that, like if the charging is quicker than the depletion of the battery, kind of like with the FK Irons machine, like the Flux, you can, if your battery is dead and you really had to do it, you could actually just plug it in and it will run directly off the cable. I didn't do testing on all that, and maybe you guys at home could tell me how a 9-volt battery is going to affect the power of a DC motor. Is it okay doing a 9-volt battery? I honestly don't know all the science and specs on all that. Maybe you guys could tell me down in the comments. All right, continuing on the Instagram page, we'll see the next post after the release post. The next post that he made was the Century tattoo machine is all milled out on the CNC machine. We can see it here. It looks like it's all coming together really, really nicely. So yeah, you got the body in metal, not just, you know, 3D printed. You now got the metal version. And then after that, he made the post right here saying MP5 with the magnetic drive plus tactical. So MP5 tactical has the 9-volt battery, is a 9-volt battery powered MP5. Pre-orders available now. Release date will be close to Halloween, and then he actually lists the release date, so 10/11/2023. So, you know, this year in like literally next month, October 11th. And then 9-volt lithium batteries are not included, so that's interesting. So we're not going to get the battery along with it, so you're forced to find the battery like I did online. Otherwise, you guys could use any 9-volt battery, but I'd highly suggest this one because, you know, it's rechargeable. It has the Type-C port on it. I wish you would just include it, but I'm sure there is issues with shipping electronics, mostly overseas, if you're going to do it anything overseas with like a battery or anything. But he does say the RCA adapter will be included, so we haven't even seen that yet. Like for the new tactical, whether there's like a mount that plugs in and then an RCA port, that'll be pretty cool. I'm sure we're going to see that in a couple days. He's going to, I'm sure, post that on his Instagram. And then please follow me on Instagram for all the information regarding the Century MP5 Tactical. And then Century Tattoo Machines is taking it even a step further by doing their whole internals on their tattoo machine completely different, because they have what is called a magnetic drive motor kind of system to it, kind of similar to how a coil machine works, that kind of works on a magnetic drive system, kind of like that. So they are trying to achieve the coil feel in a pen machine. And this is kind of how that magnetic drive system works. So we'll see here, the center part right here is actually spinning, when I believe that's a magnet, like a South Pole magnet. And then these are two magnets right here, I believe, with their South Pole ends facing inwards. And you know, when you put two South Pole ends of a magnet together, they like reject each other, kind of pushing off of each other, kind of making some force right there. And then I believe that's what they're doing with this part spinning in the center. I believe actually half of it is a positive end and half of it is a negative end, or a North Pole and a South Pole to that magnet in the center, and then it's spinning, kind of oscillating those two magnets back and forth. And then, you know, you hook a drive bar to it, put it on a rail system, and then there you go. You kind of have an oscillating back and forth motion using magnets, also achieving that coil feel. I almost guarantee that I butchered how that magnetic drive motor works, but the important thing here is that it's innovative and that it's different than what all the other people in the competition are doing. I almost guarantee that that tattoo machine has a little bit of give to it, just because when you push back against the drive bar that's oscillating with magnets, you would think that there is a little bit of give to it, kind of like with coil machines. Coil machines have give to them. It would definitely be interesting just to get my hands on this machine and feel how it all works. All right, here we'll see the fully finished production model of the MP5 Tactical. It's just missing like an anodized coat or a painted coat of color on the machine. And we'll see here in the comments, he says it's 0.5 ounces heavier. So it's only 0.5 ounces heavier than the original MP5, and that's including the battery. This makes me think that he's probably going to go back to the MP5 now and then try to shave off some weight on that one after learning some things on this newer version of the machine. But that's still very, very impressive. Only 0.5 ounces heavier than the stock MP5. That's crazy. All right, and then in this video clip, we can see the battery right there and how it is quickly accessible. You could just pull it right out if you need to hot swap it or anything. And we'll notice right here that the machine is actually very small for a tattoo pen machine. And we'll actually see right there, that is the button to turn it on right under that back part. So that's pretty interesting placement for the on button. I almost wish that he just implemented it in the dial. Like when the dial's all the way one way, it's off, it just clicks to off, almost like how the machine I made kind of works. Just because you would think that while you're tattooing, you're gonna accidentally bump it, mostly being right there on that, like the swell part of your hand right there. Like you would think that you would press the button, like it almost looks like he just pressed it there. So that is pretty interesting. And then having the body as all one piece, it makes you think like how you're gonna wrap it, because typically I like to, if it's one piece like this, I like to take the grip tape, wrap it up all the way, but we have so many things in the way of that, like the on button, we can't put grip tape over that. Or, I mean, you could, but you're going to want to see where that is. And then same with that dial to adjust your needle hang on your machine. Like that's going to be difficult to wrap. Same with like the dial on the back to change your voltage. It's a interesting design. I would just like to see it implemented, you know, when you go to wrap it and to actually tattoo and use it. All right, now we're on the Century website. We're going to be checking it out and seeing how much this costs. So just like on the Instagram post we see here, MP5 Tactical, just the same announcement post saying that we're going to get it October 11th. And then here we will see the machine. And if you order it right now for pre-order, you actually get 13% off of $750, 13% off of that. You get the machine for $650. Now this is a wireless tattoo machine, guys. For only $650, that's a very good deal. And then the machine comes in different colors, and the colors we are seeing here is gold, and we got red. So gold is kind of like a yellow. Red is a nice like middle ground red. And then we got silver, and we got black. Now I think I want the silver. I think I want the silver just because it's more like raw looking. I kind of want that machine feel to it, like that raw. Just because I'm into this dude and I've been watching the whole process, I think I want it as raw as I can get it. I wonder if I could reach out to him and actually get like a raw machine with like no paint on it. I wonder if the silver is raw and just like polished, or if it's like actually painted silver. That's the one I kind of want. Let's actually click it and see where it takes us. All right, so here is the silver machine. Let's see if there's any specs, and there is no specs on this part, so it's not telling us anything else. You can just add it to your cart and order it. We could see different photos of it. So here we can see the back of it. Here we see the button, like I said, the on button. And this is actually, I don't even know if the motor is inside of this. Is this a raw? This almost looks like a raw chassis. So this is a CAD drawing, and I wonder if there's no motor inside of it. Or no, we see the magnetic drive right here. All right. Well, yeah, that's cool. It almost reminds me of like the Cybertruck, you know, like the Tesla Cybertruck, just because it has that cool like angular design to it. Yeah, it's a cool overall design. And then if we keep scrolling down on the website and we go to actually the previous machine, the MP5, we'll get a little more statistics here that we could read off. So the magnetic drive, and then it has 100% of a coil hit like feel to it, and then it has 100% coil give to it. So it does have give. And then it's using 6061 aluminum, so that's good. That's aircraft grade aluminum. It's real good. A Swiss 9-volt motor, 6 volt to 10 volt max. Okay, and then a 4mm stroke length. So there's one stroke length you're going to be able to get, and it's a 4mm stroke. If you could only have one stroke length, that's the stroke length I would suggest. So good on them. And then 4.2 ounces. And then only 3.75 in length is what the MP5 is on the previous one. Same with the 4.2 ounces. The new one is 4.2½ ounces, just because in that previous video, we know that because he said it's a ½ ounce heavier. Then we will read here that the previous MP5 says it has an RCA power jack. Power packs must have jump start turned off. So it's a specific battery pack that you need for the previous version, and they actually are providing that too, and I believe it just hit the website today. And it says it's a 3D printed 9-volt powerhouse for T. I don't know what powerhouse for T means, but it's a 3D printed 9-volt battery pack, which is really exciting because he designed this and that new machine, and the battery pack is already available. And I don't even think it's pre-order. I think if you buy it right now, you'll get it. And it's 3D printed, so that's freaking cool. I just get excited for things like that. I like to see like the originalness in it. So if I can see it being 3D, if I actually get print lines in it, that's actually really cool to me. So yeah, it's called the Powerhouse, 9 volts. I actually wonder if I could build one of these. It obviously wouldn't be as cool as his, because he has it all 3D printed with the display and everything. So on this, wait, no, so okay, so that's the on button right there. So it makes me wonder why they didn't implement the on button on the front of the new tattoo machine, on the front of the tactical. Like, they should have just put the on button under the screen, kind of like this on the tactical, instead of under it. But who knows? Maybe there's a reason why it's under it, and maybe it just feels better in your hand. I don't know. And this is only 80 bucks, guys. It's cheap. And the batteries you get for it is $5. $5 for the battery. And this is basically the battery shell. And I bet you can use this on other tattoo machines, not just this one. All right, so while editing, I actually came to the conclusion that this might not work on all tattoo machines, just because the RCA port is actually kind of deep inside of that 3D printed shell. And what that's going to do is actually prevent you from, you know, stuff like this where it protrudes out. You'll be able to stick that into the hole because the 3D printed part will go around it. But stuff like, you know, like this, where it's more, where that RCA port is more in a shroud around the back of the machine, I don't think you're going to be able to hook that battery on machines like this, which is something I wish they thought about. I'm sure it fits their machine perfectly, like seamlessly, and makes it look really beautiful. It would be nice to see them come out with another battery for other companies also, because I would love to just get a battery like that, but have it work on my other machines, you know, like I want it to work on, you know, my EXO machine and stuff, but it's just not going to. I could just tell by looking at it that it's not going to fit properly with the way that that's 3D printed and designed. I want you guys to tell me down in the comments on what you guys think about the MP5 tactical tattoo machine. Did I miss anything? Do you guys have any questions on anything? Are you guys going to be picking up this tattoo machine, or are you guys going to be picking up the battery and trying it out on one of your tattoo machines, let me know down in the comments. Also, let me know down in the comments on what you guys think about my tattoo machine that I made. And if you guys want to see a building series where I just build like ridiculous tattoo machine, like prototypes and stuff, if you guys want to see that, just let me know down in the comments and I'll be happy to do that.